Welcome to Spiritual Calisthenics. Christ is in our midst. On February 25th, we commemorate St. Tarasius, Patriarch of Constantinople, St. Reginos, Bishop of Skopelos, the Holy Martyr Alexander of Thrace. I would also like to wish my father, Richard Tobias, a very happy birthday, as well as my sister-in-law, Jennifer Cerrutis, a very happy birthday. Regarding St. Tarasius, this saint was the son of the foremost princes in Constantinople and was originally a consul and first among the emperor's private counselors. Then, in 784, he was elected Patriarch of Constantinople by the sovereigns Irene and her son Constantine Porphyrogenitus. He convoked the Seventh Ecumenical Council that upheld the holy icons and became the boast of the church and a light to the clergy. He reposed in 806. A model of faith and the image of gentleness, the example of your life has shown you forth to your sheepfold to be a master of temperance. You obtain thus through being lowly gifts from on high and riches through poverty. Tarasius, our Father and priest of priests, intercede with Christ our God, that he may save our souls. From the prophecy of Isaiah.
Thus say the people, "Come, let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob, that he may teach us his ways, and that we may walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. He shall judge between the nations, and shall decide for many peoples, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war any more."
So in other words, when Christ comes in his second coming, all war will be put to end. And this is the prophecy of what Christ means to be. Because as of right now, all things are geared towards war. Nation is constantly against nation. And so this is a prophecy of what Christ will bring to the world.
O house of Jacob, come, let us walk in the light of the Lord. For thou hast rejected thy people, the house of Jacob, because they are full of diviners from the east and of soothsayers like the Philistines, and they strike hands with foreigners. Their land is filled with silver and gold, and there is no end to their treasures. Their land is filled with horses, and there is no end to their chariots. Their land is filled with idols. They bow down to the work of their hands, to what their own fingers have made. So man is humbled, and men are brought low, and forgive them not. Enter into the rock, and hide in the dust from before the terror of the Lord, and from the glory of his majesty. The haughty looks of man shall be brought low, and the pride of men shall be humbled, and the Lord alone will be exalted in that day.
From the book of Genesis.
And God said, "Let the earth bring forth living creatures according to their kinds, cattle and creeping things, and beasts of the earth according to their kinds." And it was so. And God made the beasts of the earth according to their kinds, and the cattle according to their kinds, and everything that creeps upon the ground according to its kind. And God saw that it was good.
So as I said before, when we look at this in accordance with the Big Bang and with scientific thought about how animals develop, we see the different phylum, we see the different animals, the different species, that there are different kinds, and that within these kinds, they're able to propagate and multiply.
Then God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth."
So when it says us, it is of course plural, the Holy Trinity. And when it says dominion, it means to dominate. Now dominate can mean two things. One, it can mean to beat into submission, which is inappropriate, or it can mean to have proper title as basically the person that is over something for someone else, someone that is the dominator that is standing on top of something for another person. So for example, when we see statues in different places, this would be shown to say that, okay, this person, the likeness of the statue has power here. We see this with currency as well. And so man is supposed to be representing this over all of creation, over all the animals and over all the land, that because we are made in the image and likeness of God, we show God's dominion over the entire earth and all of creation.
So God created man in his own image. In the image of God he created him. Male and female he created them. And God blessed them. And God said to them, Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the air, and over every living thing that moves upon the earth.
Now, this is important because it's showing us that at that time in the garden, there was no carnivorous action. Everything was eating plants. And it also shows us that God said it was very good at this point, meaning that the creation was complete, that everything was spectacular. Everything else was good, but when he made man and woman, he said it was very good. It is also important for us to understand that this is the start of where we have two creation stories. So in this creation story, at the beginning of Genesis 1, we see God creating man and a woman immediately, Anir and Gineka. And so this is important because we do not have yet the story of Adam being put into a trance and having Eve taken from one of his ribs. And this is important too because, as we'll see when we get to that reading, that there's this concept of the idea that woman is somehow less than man, when that's not true. It shows that they were made equal right from the beginning.
And God said, Behold, I have given you every plant yielding seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree with seed in its fruit. You shall have them for food, and to every beast of the earth, and to every bird of the air, and to everything that creeps on the earth, everything that has the breath of life, I have given every green plant for food. And it was so, and God saw everything that he had made. And behold, it was very good. And there was evening, and there was morning, a sixth day. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the seventh day God finished his work which he had done, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had done. So God blessed the seventh day and hallowed it, because on it God rested from all his work which he had done in creation.
Now, of course, this day, the day of rest, the day of Sabbath, is important for us because it shows us that God himself is willing to rest, and that is important for us as well, that we all need to be able to rest. From the book of Proverbs.
My son, if you receive my words and treasure up my commandments with you, making your ear attentive to wisdom and inclining your heart to understanding, yes, if you cry out for insight and raise your voice for understanding, if you seek it like silver and search for it as for hidden treasures, then you will understand the fear of the Lord and find the knowledge of God. For the Lord gives wisdom. From his mouth come knowledge and understanding. He stores up sound wisdom for the upright. He is a shield to those who walk in integrity, guarding the paths of justice and preserving the way of his saints. Then you will understand righteousness and justice and equity, every good path, for wisdom will come into your heart, and knowledge will be pleasant to your soul. Discretion will watch over you. Understanding will guard you, delivering you from the way of evil, from men of perverted speech, who forsake the paths of uprightness to walk in the ways of darkness, who rejoice in doing evil and delight in the perverseness of evil, men whose paths are crooked and who are devious in their ways. You will be saved from the loose woman, from the adventuress with her smooth words, who forsakes the companion of her youth and forgets the covenant of her God. For her house sinks down to death, and her paths to the shades. None who go to her come back, nor do they regain the paths of life. So you will walk in the way of good men and keep to the paths of the righteous. For the upright will inhabit the land, and men of integrity will remain in it, but the wicked will be cut off from the land, and the treacherous will be rooted out of it.
I hope that you've enjoyed today's Spiritual Calisthenics. Have a blessed and wonderful day.